Folks, how you doing? Welcome back. It's Charlie. It is November 15th, Friday, 2019. It's about 10:10 in the morning. I'm here in Pasadena. I just left 99-cent store, and I'm on the quest to go get another phone, and I'll cover that in another video. Yes, I had to get my coffee. No, not working today. Thank goodness. Seriously, thank goodness, because I got to go get a phone, and like I said, I'll definitely cover that in another video. So first, this is for my team members, for my target team members, fellow co-workers and other stores, and not just for my team members, but also retail everywhere. Not so much everywhere. Let's focus on this country only. Let's focus on this country. All right. So we have, everybody does, on Facebook. All employers, all employees have Facebook pages of everything. Your business, if you have employees, I guarantee you that your employees have a page where they talk about work stuff. So on Facebook we do too. We have a page for workers and former workers and stuff like that. So it's very cool. And you know, we put situations on blast. We put the company on blast. You know, we talk about things. I should be fair, shouldn't be fair. We talk about guests. I really dislike that word, guests. I'm sorry to the general public, but I am also... No, there's no such thing as guests. Guests imply that they could be easily kicked out or dismissed from your property without any questions or lashbacks. And that is not the case. Not in retail, most certainly. So, I still call them customers. So, as many of you know, our economy, some see the economy as high, some see the economy as low. I kind of see the economy 3/4 of the way up. There's definitely an overabundance of jobs, especially here in Pasadena. There's a lot of jobs. But unfortunately, here it's Pasadena, they don't last too long because retail space is so expensive. It is a premium, so... The birth life of any retail or food and beverage is a year and a half, 2 years, just under 2 years. Here in Pasadena, at least in Southern California, minimum wages went up, of course, as you know. And here in Pasadena, I believe the minimum wage is just at 15. And that applies, and there's stipulations. If you are an employer where you have 25 or less employees, then you pay them the minimum wage, which is, I want to say $10.12 an hour. $10.12 an hour is a great wage. I could almost live on $10.12 an hour. Who couldn't, right? $10.12 is, I think, is a good hourly wage. And that's anywhere. You know, I think that's comfortable. No, it's not. What do you mean it's not? Can't live off that money. Well, why can't you live off that money? Because everything's too damn expensive. Everything is too damn expensive. Okay. Yes, I agree. I myself, I'm about 15 an hour. I went from working about 7.5 hours a day down to 4.5, 4.75. Let me pause here for a second. So, and as many of you know, I used to be homeless. You know, I used to be homeless in Pasadena. Homeless and employed, though it's most difficult to be employed and hold down a damn job while you're homeless, because all my money, my paychecks working at a sushi restaurant. That was making good money. So all my money went to motels. I got tired. I finally got a good job. Oh, excuse me again. Okay. So I was pulling in really good money working at the sushi restaurant. I got hired at Sugarfish. I got hired first as kitchen help, as dishwasher, and then I was quickly moved to kitchen help and helping prepare and help make food and sushi and whatnot. It was a great job, very fast paced, fantastic wage, as I said, for me alone. And actually, if I probably had, yeah, if I was still with my spouse and my daughter, we could probably float by without her working. Yeah. But the reality is, I was making about $15, $16 an hour. Get my paycheck, and instead of going back to sleeping in my sleeping bag, I wanted to check into a motel. So there goes my paycheck. For 5 days here in Pasadena for a motel, it's about $1,000. $600 to $800 for 5 nights. That's what I was spending. So I'd be in a hotel room for that much money. Now I remember when days, motels and everything were really super cheap, especially in Vegas. Long gone are those days. Long gone are the days where we actually had coupons, and coupons were the most effective way to save money. These electronic coupons, they really don't save you money. It's more of a pacifier, a binky, as you will, to put in your mouth, to calm you down, to make you feel like you're really saving a lot of money. I mean, and a lot of ads everywhere in retail say, well, if you spend $50 or more, blah, 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 you'll get a $5 gift card. 5 out of 50, $5. Now, if I was homeless, yeah, that $5 would be great, but I'm not going to be homeless and spend $50 on whatever. So coupons are not what they seem. So if you want to use them, go ahead, use them. It's just sugarcoating. You're just BSing yourself and your pocketbook, really. So the buzz is everybody wants more money. A decent job calls for a decent living wage. Yes, that is true. That is most certainly true. A living wage is most certainly warranted. But you got to remember, the minimum wage was only introduced as a starting wage. It was called entry level. Entry level meant that it's your first job into the real world of business, of life. And you usually got your entry level job in high school. Or rather, when I was younger, your first job actually was the paper route, making a whole whopping $7 a week. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I did that for a while, and then my mom got tired because, she was driving me around. Nothing like being up at 4 o'clock in the morning, waiting for the truck to deliver 200 newspapers that you have to roll up, put a rubber band on it, or if the weather's crappy, which usually was in El Segundo, living in a big beach city. So I'm riding around for an hour and a half delivering papers, and then I have to go to school 7:30 in the morning till 3 p.m. I know, God, you sound like you walked. Yeah, I know, but this is the way it was. Now, you got to realize, so let's say you're at $15 an hour. It's not enough money, damn it. Why not? Well, I got to go here, and, groceries cost a lot of money, food costs a lot of money, gas and bills, yeah, everything costs a lot of money. So you want more money so you can be comfortable and secure feeling after you've paid all those bills and after you've done everything and you still want a little bit left over, correct? Correct. And I agree. I too. I mean, I probably bring, I bring home, wow, a lot less now that the new modernization has been initiated and implemented. I don't know how I'm going to survive, but my pay is fine. I pay child support, and after child support takes their huge chunk, which increased substantially about 2 months ago, to my shock, and okay, well, if I demanded my employer to increase my wage by at least, let's say $1 every year or every time the economy went up. So my wage goes up $1. Fine. The economy went up, let's say another 5%. That's affected us in the general public. Every time the economy goes up, my wage should increase, or at least that's the general consensus with everything, right? So we can stay ahead of you know, staying alive, keeping ahead in life, right? Okay, so I'm up to $15 an hour. So next year I'll be up to 16, and by another couple years, maybe I'll be 22, 23 an hour. So the more money I get in pay, the more the rest of the world's going to go up. So my boss gives me that extra dollars with a few $100,000 employees, a few 100,000 employees also. Their wages go up. My company's got to increase their profit, their prices substantially to cover for the cost. Because not only that, but then the cost of healthcare. Look, you people aren't stupid. You people are not dumb. You certainly are not. You younger folks, I don't really understand why you think you really deserve more and more and more. You've just barely started out. Now, I understand you're going to school, whatever you want. But look, the cold, hard fact of reality is the more the cost of living goes up, your paycheck, there's no possible human way. You can argue with me, that's fine. I challenge you to. But there's no way that your paycheck is going to keep going up to match the cost of living. I used to work for the St. Petersburg Times of Florida, and I got a job offer as a press operator, apprentice pressman, and that's my career, printing and publishing. All that got taken over by automation. I think I last worked in the printing and publishing industry in 2005. All that went automated. My position and what I was doing got taken over by computers. It was straight from direct to plate to press. So yeah, I lost a lot. So since then I've been working retail, food and beverage, and trying to make ends meet. Life wasn't that expensive. Post 9/11, everything really went really expensive. You can't expect your paycheck to match the cost of living. It's your job to budget yourselves and do everything, and you can't. Look, it's impossible. It will never happen. Your paycheck will never be able to meet the demands of cost of living. It never has, and it never will into the future. It's the cost of living that's increased substantially. Everything has at least increased by 2 to 3 times more than what it used to be, at least easily 10 years. Just look at the price of eggs, bread, and milk. Now look at you know what? My ex-wife and I used to buy instant coffee a lot. A jar of instant coffee, even back in 2009, was about $6 a jar for what we used to drink. I went to the store just for basically shits and giggles, and I looked at the jar, and that same jar that we used to buy is almost $11 now. So your paycheck keeps going. Don't you think that's going to increase the cost of the world, the cost of food, everything, the demand? So do you not really realize we are hurting ourselves. The more money we expect, the more money that we demand, the more expensive everything else in life is going to be expensive. So please, 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 please understand, it's not your paycheck. It is the outside world that costs so much. I know some of you will get it. I know most certainly a lot of my subs, my channel will get this. And I'm gonna see if I can't post it up on Facebook on our page and everything to follow. But I know that a lot of folks are probably gonna see now, and I made a comment about another subject about automation, actually, self-checkouts. And the one guy called me, okay, boomer, implying that I'm a baby boomer, because I said, well, back when I was younger, I was like, dude, don't be a schmuck. Please, don't be a schmuck. Don't get like, okay, boomer. Really? So, look, we can't keep increasing our paycheck. It's going to defeat the purpose. Everything, the more our pay goes up, the more the outside world. Look at Mountain View, California, for instance. Their rent since 2012 has increased over 50%. Excuse me. Their rent has increased over 51% since 2012. And that's because of the booming of the tech companies and software companies and everything coming in. So a lot of people that have been living there, we're getting priced out. Here in Pasadena, it's the same thing. Now we're getting a lot more companies coming in. There's a lot more demand for housing. There's really no housing, no affordable housing. And the only housing here is like all these new townhomes, luxury, as they call them now, luxury apartment townhomes. And we're starting off at least here in Pasadena, $1,800 for a studio of 219 square feet. Yeah, that's about. And then the fact that when you're interested, they want your credit score to be no less than 700. There's two things that in general when they send you back via email as you show interest in said unit or whatever. So they say they do this. They send you an email before you actually apply. Here's our 10 stipulations for renting here in Pasadena, and it goes on to say, if you can pass the first two questions, then continue on, and then reply to us with your interest of said unit. First, a credit score of no less than 700. 2, your income has to be that of 6 to 7 times that of rent. So if I'm going to rent a place for $1,800, my income has to be, monthly income, mind you, 6 to 7 times that amount of rent. I work at Target. I make $15 an hour. 4 3/4 hours a day. 3 days a week. Now, and I can still afford a $650 studio like my ex-wife and I and my daughter did back in 2014. Yeah, that same unit now, I had looked because it came up actually, not that unit, but that in that same area. 2.5 times now it went up. So we are never going to be able to stay ahead of the game. So please, don't rack your brain. Stop racking your brain. Stop driving yourself crazy. Stop being so angry. I understand more than you really think. I'm not just some old 53-year-old fart talking through his butt about this. I was homeless for almost 5 years in Pasadena, employed, feeding homeless people, helping homeless, clothing homeless people, over 3,000 people. And that's documented on YouTube channels. I know, I've stayed in touch with the economy whilst being homeless. It was my time to try to get myself together, try to reestablish my credit, actually, after I got munched being homeless and everything. And I know what it's like. Being homeless actually costs more money than being housed. Why? Because we have to buy food every day. We don't have a refrigerator, so we have to buy food that's meant to be eaten right there and then, that day, you know? No food really 24 hours later. Where am I going to store my food? So it gets costly. And even then, we're only left to mainly fast foods or ready-made sandwiches. You know, I'm going to go to Ralph's or Vaughn's or Kroger or Winn-Dixie or Publix and buy a ready-made sandwich for $7 2 to 3 times a day, every day. What I'm getting being homeless from the county is $220 in food stamps and probably $200 in cash assistance. I managed to live off of less $400 a month, and that's after paying my cell phone bill, which was about $87-90. And it was still expensive. And, you know, and I've even heard, you know, other homeless, God, you know, I remember the times when you used to get a lot more. Yeah, well, you know, everything shrinks. You know, the economy gets better. As the economy gets better, everything goes up, and our paychecks stay the same. But that's the way it's supposed to be, and it'll never change. So please stop squabbling about, I need more money. Never gonna happen, my friends. If you really want to make it happen, if you think you have the power and the voice and the fortitude to do that, then do what I'm doing, do this, or get out on the streets. Go to City Hall, go to your legislator, go to Capitol, go to the state Capitol, go to Capitol. Do something, start a movement more than anything. Be specific about it, because it's not going to happen, but you can try. You know, I'm not going to knock you for trying. I'd certainly encourage you to try. Trying got me housed and off the streets. But look at the whole real big picture about it. Think about it. It's like gas. Gas is never going to go down. We definitely will run out of fossil fuels here very soon. I'd say in another 50 years. It's less than that. We won't be here in California. They're pushing very much by 2040 to wanting to be off of fossil fuels and go electric. Slippery slope. Our tech is slippery slope. And that's another thing, you know, everything is so expensive, you know. I don't understand. If you're bitching about you need more money, then stop buying that damn $1,100 cell phone, you know? You don't need that. I don't need that. It's just, and even what I do, you know, I mainly shoot. I seldom shoot from my Nikon camera. I'm always shooting on cell phones, and I try to look for the best phone, but I look for something that's within my means of life. I don't live at home, and I'm not knocking that. If anything, these times are so trying. Yeah, if you can live at home with your folks, most definitely, but get out as soon as you can, you know. Because if you're forever living at your parents' house, you're never going to realize the true effect of the economy and the outside world of your parents' home. Because you're getting a reduction in life costs, in the real life costs of life. So get out. You have to experience. And I know it sucks. Life is hard. Life is not a bitch. Life is what you make out of it. Trust me. I ended up flying off my bike on the way off work. Fractured my kneecap. I was out of work for at least a good 4.5-5 weeks, and that financially killed me. I mean, I was close to having to go back to the county office to go get food stamps through GR again, but I didn't. I just muddled through it. It was tough, but I did it. You know, there's no one else taking care of me really, other than me and my subs that help me when they feel like it. And like now, last week, my paycheck, because I was down to 3 days, my last paycheck was $180. I kid you not. After everything, what I donate to charity, 401, child support, my cable and internet bill, and food, $180. 1 week later, today's Friday, payday was last week. I still got a week to go. I'm not gonna make it, but I do have the luxury of food pantries and food lines. It's not beneath me. If I need it, I'm gonna go, damn it. I went the other night to go visit friends. Why? Because I was low on money. And another thing, I just barely was able to put money on my bus pass. So yeah, the rest of the time now, I'm choking life. I am really choking life. But I'm not gonna bitch about it. It's something that I have to muddle through and, you know, knock down walls through it. And I'm a fighter, I'm a survivor. Don't believe me? Ask my coworkers. They know me. They know my homelessness and everything. My HR manager, my store manager, they know everything. I walk to and from at times, most of the times, from my house to work in La Cañada, from Pasadena, La Cañada, 4.5, 5 miles in the rain, and I do that when I can't afford to take transportation. So don't tell me that we don't make enough money. We do make enough money, more than an adequate amount to live. It's the rest of the world that you need to bitch about. You need to complain about the high cost of living, not your paycheck, because your paycheck is fine. All right, my friends, I gotta go. I gotta go find a phone. I will explain about that again too. Gotta go over here and get my another Obama phone. I screwed up last night. That's on me, so. All right, folks, so you take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but always take care of yourselves first. Love one another, trust one another, be kind to each other, help one another. Don't take today for granted or any other day thereafter. Live for the moment. Pull down your pants and slide on that ice. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, what we're doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button. Tell your friends and family about me, about us, what's going on, and me trying to give some sort of sage advice, I don't know, to folks out there. And I have another video to cover about tech and automation and retail and everything. So this one I had to get out of the way. So boomer. I don't know what. I think I might just title this video Boomer. No, that's saved for the other one. So. All right, my friends. Like, comments. Leave comments, good or bad. And even for you folks that work in retail or also that are fellow co-workers for Target, just leave me. I know it's bad, but really. And the thing is, your parents never really told you how life is going to be, because now this is your parents' job. Real quick, I digress? No, I don't. You should have already been prepared by the time you got an application at Target to already know and expect what life is going to be, how it's going to be, what you're going to make, and what your purchases are going to be in life. No? No. Well, they didn't have time. No. See, now that falls upon your parents. So, life is symbiotic, okay? So, yeah. All right, my friends. I love you all. Take care.